You hear timers going off. Um, we just had breakfast. I didn't even brush my teeth after. We just finished breakfast. It was delicious. And we're not gonna eat again until 2 today. After 2, when our friends come over. Get my apron on. Apron just for doing stained glass. Before I get started this morning, welcome to the 1870 studio. It's called the 1870. I always forget to tell you this. We live in an old church. It's called the 1870 studio because the original old church was built in 1870. It got taken away by a tornado. There comes Morton. Morton's the best part of this place. Hi, honey. What do you got? What? Don't bring it up by here. Don't bring it up by here. Oh my gosh, it's hot. Hot out of the oven. Morton's been baking all morning and baked a beach cobbler last night. We made jam this morning. Company arrives at 2 today. So, but yeah, I'm Priscilla. That's Morton. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you consider following. We do all kinds of fun stuff. I like to try to teach you stuff. Let me take you out of here so you can see. I don't like to gatekeep information. I like to share anything I know. I like to be open, honest, full disclosure. And turn you around and show you what I'm doing. Flippity dip. So I have this little clamp that I think, because Morton's not going to, this is going to be perfect. I'm going to be able to clamp you right. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Wonderful. Okay. I'm going to clamp you there in a minute. But first I want to tell you about stained glass. And I want to make sure you're following us, please. And go to our website, get on our email list. The things I'm working on today, they're going to be in the Halloween box. And when we hit 100,000 followers on TikTok, I'm going to give away this mermaid to some lucky person. It's taking us 5 million years to get to 100,000 people though. But I'm going to show you some cute little pumpkins today that we're making. You're facing forward, so my backwards words don't work for you. Follow us. Can't stay, gotta go to church. Have fun. Okay, so let's get down to stained glass Sunday. I'm gonna put you in here. In stained glass, most of my glass I get from a place called Yakagani. It's in Western Pennsylvania. This is so perfect. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So I want to talk to you about safety. Safety with stained glass is paramount. You got to do it. You got to wear. You got to wear gloves. I see a lot of people making content. They don't have their gloves on. It scares me. This is dangerous stuff we're working with here. Sharp, dangerous, caustic, lead. This is lead. Half lead. So this is soldering iron. I'm going to get these guys out of our way because I did a whole bunch of glass cutting last night. Soldering iron is not plugged in. This is the stand for it. And the stand needs to have water in it. See if I can do this without pouring it all over. On the sponge. That little sponge needs to have water in it. And we're not going to plug our iron in yet. We're not going to plug that in. Just wanted to get the water prepped. So we're going to be doing a pumpkin today. So I have a whole bunch of different colors for the stems. For the leaves. The stems, I already cut a whole bunch of stems up for us. I cut all those up. I'm making a lot of pumpkins. I'm not quite sure yet. I don't do anything to patterns. I do everything out of my head. my head's filled with stuff, but some things you want to remember. This is lead solder, 40-60, so part tin, part lead. But wear gloves. And the other thing is, when you're cutting glass, you get little shards of glass everywhere. I can't emphasize this enough. Keep it clean. Some of my stuff says keep it tidy. So all these little shards of glass, can you see them? I can't tell you how many times I've gotten the littlest, tiniest piece of glass in my hand, whatever. Keep it out of your way. So you want to keep it clean. You also want to wear safety glasses. I will put these on. Actually, I'm going to put them on now. I'm going to take off my gloves, though, because my gloves probably got weird stuff on them. I wear an apron. So right here where I just touch my glasses, wipe it with an apron. Let's put our safety glasses on. Oh wait, no, these aren't going to work because they're my reading glasses. We're going to use these safety glasses. These safety glasses work great. I didn't touch them either. Let's put our safety glasses on. And so that will keep all that stuff from going in our face. And then if we need to look down here, there's a little magnifier. Martin got me those. I love them. And guess what? They look cool too. I look like a mad scientist. Okay. Good morning. It is still morning. It's 11:07. Okay, so now we're gonna cut. Now we're gonna cut some glass. So I have loads of little stems cut. Loads of little pumpkin stems, different textures, different colors, different shapes. That one's actually a really cool color. Stained glass, you can't really see it till you're up to the window. Looky. Ooh, there it is. Okay, but now we're gonna do the leaves. Well, maybe I should do the pumpkin first. Let's do our pumpkin first, shall we? So, draw, sketch, use a pattern. You do whatever you want to do. Thank you for that little heart. Who sent that little heart? Who sent that? Thank you, Julie. So this glass is lovely orange. Thanks for the confetti. See this? This is like classic orange. This is it'll look really pretty as a pumpkin. So I want to get a couple good big centerpieces out of here. So our centerpieces for the pumpkins, I'm just gonna draw them like this. Just that little shape. Can you see that? I'll draw another one on here. So I put with a Sharpie on here. It's kind of hard to see there. Now I'm just gonna follow the Sharpie around. Thank you, everybody. Oh my gosh, Julie sent confetti. Angela sent a rose. I'm gonna make this one a little bit wider, because why not? And I'm keeping flat on top, more rounded on the bottom. Okay, so cutting, I gotta scoot you back here. Get you back there so I can get my arm in here. Well, that's good. Yes. So this is a glass cutter. It actually just scores the glass. This will never, ever hurt your finger. One of the first things I teach people is don't be afraid of this. You just want to make a nice score on the glass. So you can't see my lines here. I'm just gonna one push. One push around, and then I'm going to tap underneath. I'm going to actually put a breakout line here because I got a curve. and a breakout line. That stops it from splitting elsewhere. Part of our pumpkin shape. And you wanna, like, there's a little spur of glass. I will do this. And, like, I should be wearing my gloves right now. Practice what I'm preaching. This stuff is so sharp. I always think I won't need it. But I buy so many Band-Aids and cut myself all the time. Unless I'm wearing my gloves. Wear gloves. Okay. So we're going to do this again now. We're going to score it. And this time, because I'm going to make another one here, I'm going to go like this with my score. Put another score right down that middle so I can break this piece off first, hopefully. Break that piece off first. And sometimes you can just snap this with your fingers. Nah. I gotta put a little breakout piece on here too. See this score? And I'll tap. See that little bit? That little bit. I'm gonna just take, these are my running pliers. I can just lock onto that little bit right there, squeeze it, and pull that down, and that breaks that. I save all these even little teeny tiny bits. They're great for making mosaics. Squeeze and hold. There is something called Grosing pliers, but you're going metal against, these have these, this has a soft spot on it. So look, even this little teeny piece, I can get that off. I find it better. I do have the Grosing pliers too, but they fragment everything. They crush it, turn it to powder. This is the gentler way. Running pliers. Okay, so we have this part of our pumpkin. It's looking spiffy. It is orange, but we need more parts of our pumpkin. So, I'm gonna take, let's find another color. I love this color. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I want to cut out a whole circle in that. I want to make a whole circle out of that one. That's beautiful, Yakagini. This, I don't know what they call this, but they should call this Halloween. That color is so cool. I love it so much. Let's take a little traditional, little pumpkin-y feel for this. Too little for that side. That actually would maybe work. No. I'll use him on another pumpkin. Oh, this color is great. These two look great together. You look up into the window. Look at those. Oh. Oh. Yes. Okay. And this is going to be really good to show you how to, this is how I do my no patterns. And I got nothing against a pattern. You use a pattern if you like to. Tanya, thank you for that. So I'm going to take this and set this here where I want to draw out my piece. Now my piece has to be long enough to fit from the bottom to the top of my pumpkin. right? Then what I'm gonna do, take my lovely little Sharpie. I'm gonna cut there, but I want this pumpkin to come out a little bit more. So I'm gonna come out here. I'm gonna make that pumpkin go to the back a little bit. Just a little bit to the back. But this part here, and I put a little smiley face by the part that I need to cut. He looks like a banana. He's a little banana. And you can, like, if you're cutting a lot of things, like I like to just go piece by piece. Did I do it on the right side? Yep, textured on the back. See the texture? But you want to cut it on the front because the front is smooth. Smooth, smooth, smooth. So here, cutting from here to here, you have a great chance of that breaking. We don't want that to happen. So I'm going to firstly cut my outside curve. Put it on the edge. I can't tell you enough how important it is to get a really strong score. And then I'm going to put breakouts. Just start right at the edge and go over. And this should stop our glass from breaking where we don't want it to break. Perfection. Perfection. And I'll be able to get another little piece out of here for another pumpkin. See, like, if this little guy was our pumpkin, I could put a piece beside and get another piece. So we have no scraps. But the one thing you want to do after you score, break it straight away. If you don't break it straight away, believe it or not, if I waited till tomorrow, this wouldn't break. Glass is super cool. And it's actually kind of like fluid in motion all the time, even though it looks like a solid surface. Glass is super cool. Okay, so this one now, I'm gonna cut this one out a little bit different. I'm gonna do my same nice score the whole way up, but I'm not going to put that breakout point. I want a chance that this stays in one piece, because then I can use it. If I put a breakout point on here, I won't be able to use a nice long piece for pumpkin. So I really want to grab a hold of this part now. This is why gloves are so important. Do you see how shiny that is? 5 times sharper than surgical steel. Please wear gloves, please. My students, when I teach here at the studio, gloves are required. I actually send people away with gloves if they tell me they're going to do it at home. Tap and take your time. You'll hear the change. You'll hear a change in it when it's getting ready to break. I'm tapping it pretty hard, but I don't do it like a one straight line break. This is a hard cut to get. I hope it happens. I heard the sound change. It's going to fall any minute. Yeah. So I don't know if you could hear that sound change. I definitely can hear it, and I love it when that sound changes. And we came up with 2 good pieces, so yay! So this guy here, and I kind of sort of wanna just go there with this guy. And if I tilt this in just a little bit, look, nope, he won't fit. Save him for another pumpkin. Let's find another piece. I like this piece, but look, see the veins run this way on it, the glass. So I need this piece to go like this. That's going to be for two little pumpkins. Let's use this piece. This is an iridescent. This is a really fun color. And this has the little lines on it, but I'm not as bothered by them. So this, we're going to size up our pumpkin again, the same way. We're going to put it on. We're going to come right over to the edge to where we have the least amount of waste. We're looking for the least amount of waste. I typically cut 5 pieces for my pumpkins that I make. Sometimes more, sometimes less. And like right now too, sometimes I'll be looking around for the perfect stem for up here. Oh, you're a good one. Oh, you're good. You're going to be the stem. We choose you. We got our stem. Okay. So now let's cut this piece here. So this piece here, we're going to come in like this line. And then here, that'll work if I do that right over there. So right back here, I want to put a little bit of this up and out, a little bit around, and bring it down. And let's put our little smiley face so we know what piece we're keeping. Set your other components to the side. I like to stack them. I don't know why. I just know these are my pieces for that pumpkin puzzle. And put them over there. Now let's get our little banana man cut. We're going to do the same again here. This guy, we're going to make a nice score here. It came out a little bit further. That's totally fine. I'm going to put my breakout point on here. Now this glass, something naughty might happen here. We'll see. And make sure you do that. There, I'll set that there. Looky. Oh, that's nice. We have friends coming over. Morton's down in the kitchen. We're basically having a Thanksgiving dinner today, a summer Thanksgiving. Okay, it's gonna go soon. I heard the noise. That was the noise. I want to go so careful, and I want to hold this up by this edge. I don't want this piece to break. Oh, that's why I have my safety glasses on. You couldn't see it, but a little piece of glass just flew back right at my eyes. Wear safety glasses, wear gloves. This glass is so different than this glass. This glass is like float glass. This glass is all textured in layers. So it's got a ripple on it. So it's harder. There we go. Took us a minute, but we got there. Let's do the same back here. I went a little harder on that one. Okay, and we're going to come around to the inside cut. The inside cut, I want to keep it nice. Sounds like somebody's knocking on the door. Nobody's knocking on the door. Okay, so we're going to come in here. And I just missed my mark so far. So far, I missed my mark. Because this is a pumpkin and not a window, it'll probably still work. But look at that. And I've been doing this over 20 years. You give yourself so much grace and so many pats on the back when you're doing an art or craft and you do something where it's like, oh man, but I'm going to tell you why. Right here, see this line? This line is another layer to this art glass right here. So right here as I was going, I hit the line and my blade went out. This blade has a little swivel on it, see? There's a little swivel action going here. So it just swiveled out. But you can't stop. Once you start the score, you're committed to it. You gotta just keep going. Keep going. Thanks for the confetti. Keep going through it. And sorry I'm not reading the screen. I really want to show you some good stuff today. And this will go up on our YouTube channel. Because somebody said to me that I talk too much and I don't teach enough. So dang it, we're getting teaching today. So tappy tap tap. I like to talk. I can't help it. You got to be real gentle with this one. This one I got a really weird cut. Yeah. This could be a oh. Underneath. Tap underneath on the score line. Oh, another thing you could do. You can't go the whole way through with your running pliers, but you can. Your running pliers. Listen. A little tiny squeeze. Tiny. Listen. Just a little tiny. Oh gosh. I might have gone too far. I might have did it too far. A little tiny squeeze. Nope. Hooray! Huzzah! Oh my gosh. So you can use your running pliers to coax it off too. Now let's see how bad we messed up, shall we? Because we're not following a pattern, I might have to flip something. Might have to go a little crazy and see where we are. That's looking great. This may or may not line up. Nah, it doesn't really line up. Down there, yes. Up there, no. But you know what? I'm putting some leaves in and some twirlies. So this, I'm going to just modify this now. I'm going to modify this. This around like this. And this line I'm going to make really dark. That's my modification line. And I'm sticking to it. Modification line. And don't be afraid. See all these little scraps of glass? If I did not have gloves on, they would be in my hands. I'm just going to right now brush them out of here. You can scratch your glass too. Keep it tidy. Work on a surface that has an edge to it. So when we start to solder doesn't fall into your lap. Okay, let's cut this part off. And I want to go more round than square. So, and always put that with the screw up. And keep it at a 45-degree angle on your glass. Okay, now this piece, because it's pretty straight, our running pliers shouldn't have a problem with that. Running pliers are great for straight lines. And you got to keep this screw up too on your running pliers. I have this here too from an old workshop. And there had been an X down here for people to not put that side up. The X is worn off. Put this here and give a little squeeze. Line the arrow up with there, squeeze, and the piece comes off. Hooray! So this little piece that came off, that might prove helpful to us. We'll see in a second. Let's get our little pumpkin design back here. See where we are. Oh, looky. Oh, looky, looky, looky. Oh, who's in there? That guy fits. Fits perfectly. Yay. Now we need to make another modification line. I'm going to make this one come out a little bit and round. That's going to be for the back of our pumpkin. No, this guy needs to fit too. Okay. I forgot about that little man. So this needs 2 modification lines. So now this is our little happy banana face here. That's what we want to cut out. So you want to do 1 line and then 2 lines. You can't go up and then turn in sideways. It will never ever cut right. So this, we're going to come up here. That was weird. Funky stuff happened there just now. I don't know that this is even scored. Yep, good. Let's go back in here and measure. Just keep yourself straight. Keep yourself straight. That down in here. Does that go that way or that way? I'll maybe like them that way. I like them that way too. Let's leave them that way. That little piece needs nipped off. Somewhere. I have nippers. So the nippers, I'm going to just do this. I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to nip off this little piece right here. Save that for mosaics. Let's see how he's fitting now. Yep. He's almost there. That little point on the top cuts to go. That little point up there. Normally you could go in and grind this. I think I have 3 or 4 grinders. They're too noisy to do on camera. That's exactly how we want him. A little bit up to show around the back. That's perfect. So now this little piece here for this side that we want to do here, this little piece might do it for us. Needing nipped, of course. Needing a little nip. Let's nip them. Let's nip them and see. Yep. He's going to be like that because we're putting a leaf on here. Oh. Okay, we're going to stack up all our pieces. I'm going to slide them out of the way, and let's make a couple of leaves for this. We're going to make a couple of leaves for this guy. So the leaves for a pumpkin. I love this color for the leaf for the pumpkin. And look, it's iridescent. I think this is going to make a beautiful pumpkin leaf. So the leaf of a pumpkin, if you look at a pumpkin patch, if you have ever gone to a pumpkin patch, they are typically, this one's going to be super hard to cut, but I love it. I love it. We're using it. So a leaf of a pumpkin it kind of goes like this, right? Kind of goes like that. That's how it's bigger, and it goes like this, really. but they're all over the pumpkin patch. So what I want to do is come up to this side, figure out how I can get that up there. I'll take him the whole way up here. I'll bring him over here. And I want to do this in 2 pieces, I think. Maybe I'll try it. I'll try it in one. We'll see what we can do. We'll see how it goes. But I'm not going to cut all these little ziggy-zaggies out just now. This is the neat part. Let's score. Let's follow. Make sure you're following. Make sure you're tapping the screen. We got one. Oops. Sorry for the loudness. I'm going to cut this one up this way. I'm going to start right here. I did a couple little zigzags in there. Nothing crazy though. Nothing crazy. Okay. That leaf is a really good size. I love them. I love this leaf. You know I love this leaf. Okay, so now I'm going to go right over here with my nippy nippers. Nippers, keep your wheels up. What you're nipping off, look, it's going to shoot down. Look, watch. It's going to shoot down. Keep your wheels up. Now we're just going to use our nips. Nip it. That end can have a point to it. 100%. 100%. Now if I go in here, it'll split. If I go in here, it'll split the whole way up. I'm sorry if you weren't seeing what I was just doing. We want to take little nips to get our leaf shape. Wonderful. I love it. So don't try to cut that out with yours. Don't try to cut that out. You nip that out. And our this will come off when we clean this. That will all come off. But I love that shape. I love it. So let's set these two together. Let me wipe my crumbs off here. And my glass don't want to get cut. Save. Okay, and never ever brush away stuff like that. Don't do that. Oh, I'm speaking from experience. Don't do that. That's not good. Okay, we got a leaf. We might have more than one leaf. I think iridescent side has to be up. This, even though the texture side's down, iridescent has to be up, I think. Let's see how we're looking. Pumpkin leaves are humongous. I love them. This guy went in there. He knew, and he fit before. He fit before we could make him fit again. Don't worry. Don't worry. We have wiggle room. We have wiggle room. I'm forgetting about that piece altogether. We don't even need them. I want the pumpkin leaf to be separate. I don't want to put it over the glass. I love them like that. I love them like that. Perfect like that. That's so great. I might put another leaf on here too. I'm going to take my gloves off now because we're going to copper foil. I'm gonna put you up here a little bit higher so you can see the whole dang picture. The whole pumpkin. Oh, you're seeing that's a reflection of what the under part of our window looks like. So copper foil, where is mine? Copper foil is simply copper, thin copper that has, oh, look, this is the other reason you want to wear gloves. Even with wearing gloves, handling your tools, your hands will get weird. I have my glass cleaner is just vinegar and water. I'm gonna clean my fingers off. I just don't want this stuff on my skin. Just don't want it on my skin. You shouldn't either. I know people who have had some serious things because of doing stained glass. You don't want that. So copper foil, let's start with our stem. He got a little drop on him of water. And thank you for being here. Thank you for all the comments. Oh my goodness, 58 people, 7,000 likes. Good morning, you wonderful, wonderful friend spending Sunday with me. I wish you were here. We're having a get together. Look at that first stem color. That's going to be a perfect little fall stem. And these are going to be in our Halloween mystery boxes. I want them to be able to keep these pumpkins up. I have pumpkins in my window year round. But we definitely have some Halloween-y things going. So here, looky. Space it on both sides. Crimp it down. Never ever. You play a game called Never Touch the Inside of the Tape. Never touch the inside of the tape. That is so sharp. I gotta move you closer to me. Sorry. I gotta be able to put my arm around here. Here we go. That's cozy. Oops, you're sliding down into my lap. You're getting too cozy on me. So I like to peel and stick. Don't ever touch it. You have oil on your fingers. You won't get a consistent stick here. Push the foil over. I feel like I'm teaching you how to play golf. I feel like I have my arms wrapped around you doing this. Now when you get to the very, very end of this, I like to overlap. Then I just tear it with my nail. My nails are too long right now. I gotta cut them. My nails grow crazy. My nails and hair grows crazy. So because this is on an inside, and because physics, this tape just had a little tear in it to go over. That's totally fine. Totally fine. Now we're going to burnish this. I use this burnishing stick. There are people that sell burnishers. This is just a dowel rod. I love it because it burnishes both sides of my piece at the same time. Burnish around the edge, and burnish it just means we're getting the wrinkles out and we're really pressing the sticky side down. Burnish this side. And don't skimp on this step. Your soldering will come out a lot nicer if you burnish. That was that away. I just missed a call from her. Are we here? My daughter was just calling. just want to make sure everything's okay. We're going to tape this up the same way, side to side. This is a 1/4 inch thick, I think 6mm maybe. I forget the thickness of this. Keep it right to the center. Crease it down. Remember, you got sharp edges here. Don't touch your glass on the edge. Crease it down. We're probably not going to get this guy put together today. These usually take me about 2 hours start to finish. But you're making an heirloom. Take your time, take your time, take your time. There's no part of this you want to skimp on. You got to do each and every step. Foiling and soldering is your favorite part. Tanya, do you wear gloves? This is the only time I don't wear gloves, is when I'm foiling. When I foil, that's the only time I don't put gloves on, and that's just because it's too hard. Your tape gets stuck on there. Well, it can do. See how it does both sides at once. Both sides get burnished at once. Morton was just saying tonight, if I cut these up, he would foil them for me. Happy to do that. Morton used to always do foiling in Scotland for me. It's super helpful, especially when you're making big pieces. I've made some windows that have over 1,000 pieces in them. And you definitely want help when you do that. Big commission pieces. I had a lady in New York, upstate New York, had a farmhouse that I think 11 or 12 of my mermaid windows are in her house. Morton and I really need to go see it. Morton would build boxes. We sent them from Scotland to her. And this was 20 years ago. And she wanted them so fast. She would sometimes spend $1,000 on the shipping to get it overnighted to her. She loved them. It was crazy. And something else I keep doing when I do this is tear off your scrap of your paper. I gotta cut my nails. My nails, when they get to the point they're too long, they're of no use to me anymore. My hands are definitely work hands. And my nails are crazy long right now. Okay, so again, start. Martin's quiet, and I don't like that because he's on the phone. Gosh, I hope everything's okay. See, never touch that underside. It gets bent and weird. Won't stick. Fold this side down. This part is super relaxing. Just remember, these things here are so pointy. I will use my nails. Maybe Morton's not even talking to her now. Probably just said, tell Mom to call me back when she's done. And I have very good son and daughter who do call me a lot, so I shouldn't worry. They're calling me, something must be wrong. It's hardly ever that case. So rare. It's funny how our minds work, though. Sometimes we go to a scary spot without even wanting to or thinking about it. You know, like if your phone rings in the middle of the night. That's always scary. This piece is going to be so pretty. So pretty. Do the big one. This big one, I'm just going to wipe it off a little bit because I see a lot of little glass shards on there. And because I'm now working with ALK gloves, I don't want to find one with my finger. Then what I like to do is I don't like down here, there won't be anything down here. So down here, I don't like to put my overlapping seam. I'm going to put my overlapping seam here because it's going to be held against the other piece of the pumpkin. So I'm going to start down here, center, push it up here. And I have a copper foiler. I prefer to do it by hand. I don't know why. I do have a copper foiler though. I find that I can get it more the way I want it. I have more control, I think, when I do it this way. The foiler is always exactly in the middle. And there are times that you don't want it exactly in the middle. This is going to be a pretty piece. Mind the sharp edges. Keep bandages happy. Go take a workshop on this. Watch YouTubes. I do a lot of YouTubes. I got to do some specific YouTubes on like soldering tips to help people more. Okay, so over here I'm going to overlap this, and then tear, and then push that down. And see that little part that stands out a little bit? I got to push him back or I will lose my mind. Oh, sorry. Bumping you all over the place. And we're going to smooth this down. And again, the joy of a long dowel rod. You do both sides at once. Both sides of the pumpkin. That side and that side. And then I go around the edge. Oh, I'm bumping you all over the place. I'm so sorry. Flip it over and look, see how it's standing up? You can't do that. You gotta burnish it down. You have to have it. Your solder will get really funky. And I learned how to do this in Scotland 22 years ago. And they pronounce it over there with the L. I know I get a lot of comments that I'm saying it wrong. I promise. They taught us how to speak English. I'm pronouncing it the right way. The British way, anyway. Get that guy in there. Did you go that way? Yep. Sometimes that happens. Your pieces get turned over. If it doesn't fit just quite right, have another look at it and see. Have another look at it and see. Tanya, you're teaching people how to solder. Awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I recommend everybody try a workshop, see if you like it, because it can be an expensive hobby, but you can also find stuff used online or people getting rid of stuff. And my biggest tip is get this soldering iron. If I teach you anything, you get a Heiko 601 FX. The link is on our Amazon for this. It's the best. It has a ceramic tip in here, so it keeps even temperature. In my workshops, because they're not crazy money, but they're when I taught people workshops here, I have a whole drawer full of things back there. People would let their cord touch through here, it burns through, and then I have to throw it away. It just happened all the time. And but once they would get good, once they would not be burning through their cords, I would let them try this one as opposed to my cheaper workshop ones that you get like Hobby Lobby or wherever. I had them do like a $70 or $80 one as opposed to a $20 one. The difference is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Everybody's soldering automatically improved. And I would always tell them when you're buying one, buy that kind. So this start is going to be on here because it's an inside join. See, I'm not going to put this out here where my overlap. It's going to be in here. And we're going to do the same thing again. All my marks come off at the end. I do custom orders right now. Oh my gosh, right now I got too many things on my plate right now to do a custom order. But I would love to make a custom piece for you, but right now is for the next 2 months. I have a sold out workshop I'm doing here, and one of the things that they're going to be doing is stained glass. Just this very project. One of the things is making this pumpkin to their own pattern. I like to teach people how to create their own patterns because there are so many patterns online. I get it, but it's fun to be able to know how to make your own too. I think too much we rely on things because we want it, you want that mass-produced look. I don't like the mass-produced look. I like the, this was a whole lot of love and the only one like it in the world look. Yeah, truthfully, it'll probably not be until January that I start doing orders again. And Bobby, how are you? Happy Sunday, and thank you for all those roses. We have workshops coming up. I'm doing Halloween boxes. We're going to Florida to our daughters, and then we're into the holidays. I'm doing Friendsgiving here, overlap and tear. If you think this is soothing watching, you need to be doing this. Yes. Yeah, Brittany, totally. I've done workshops out and about all over the place. All over the place. I used to love doing workshops out and about in Scotland. I had this one, I really missed this thing. It was a castle where teachers would go every, once a year, and they invited, they actually paid me to go teach there, teach the teachers different arts and crafts projects with recycled stuff for their classrooms. And this was at this beautiful castle. It was humongous. And it was so great because the teachers registered for what workshops they wanted to do. And they had all kinds of like educational choices, all kinds of things. And my workshop was always filled, and always had people like waiting to be, or watching from the doorway, or watching over the shoulders of their friends. I loved it. And it was so much fun. I still keep in touch with a couple of the teachers. That, you know, it's way different now. This was 20 years ago. Before you had the internet. Now you can learn any idea in any moment, but this was just a fun thing that happened. I should see if they still do it and go over just to do one more time. I loved it. Okay, and the other thing, by putting your little smile on, you remember what way your pieces are going in there. And you want it to fit nice and snug. You want it nice and snug. And you can take like, if I'm building a window, I'll use horseshoe nails to nail in and keep your pieces all tight. There's a material that you can use. It's almost like a foam board, but it's like a masonry board that you can use push pins to put in. Whatever works for you. We got one more leaf. Got one more leaf. Yeah, the American lady who shows the castles in Scotland, I have seen her. I can't watch her with Morton. I won't tell you why. Morton says a Scottish swear word a lot. He doesn't agree with all the stuff she says. The accuracy, I should say, of some things. Okay, I think that piece is going to go like that. Yep.
Right.
Hello.
You get a full leaf.
Okay, everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, honey. Okay, so this one, the piece is going to join up here. So I'm going to start this here. Ceiling tile sheet. Yeah, there's a special kind, I can't think of the name of it. There's a special tile that is non-flammable. I don't know, the ceiling tiles, just be careful because things can get hot. I can't think of the name of what people use to put on. I've seen people do this on cork. I prefer wood, but I just recommend using something that has a lip on it. See this lip here? Because when you turn this into liquid, it turns into balls. And the balls can roll down. If you don't have a lip on here, it'll come off into your lap. The Sharpie won't get burnt off. I wipe that Sharpie off. And as long as Morton doesn't need me, I want to solder this. Morton's getting everything set out. My friends aren't coming here till 2. I want to solder this together. We're going to be a little bit longer. I'm sorry, but I want you to see this done. I'm going to hold this up to the light for you. Yeah, the Sharpie will come off when I clean it. I'm going to patina this one as well. I'll turn all of this stuff black. All the edging will be black on here. So I'm going to tear this off. Tear that off. Fold that over. Burnish this, but before I burnish this, I'm going to plug my soldering iron in. I want to get this done. I don't want to do 2 parts. And if you have somewhere to go right now, you know that I will put this up on my YouTube channel. So So you can watch it up there, watch it back whenever you want to. Okay, plug in the soldering iron. The light will come on. Now I gotta get everything kind of put, so I'm not gonna, there. I'm gonna scoot you back up a little higher. I have you on this wiggly stand, but I'm usually not looking at it this way, but this will work. This will work. Okay, let's burnish this. And then we're going to put the gloves back on. And burnish inwards. If you go pushing it off, you will knock your copper foil off. So pull inwards to burnish. Inwards to burnish. And then the edge. Over, do the back side, and look, see, you pull it inwards. Don't push it off. Pull it inwards. Don't rub out. Let me say it one more time. And I'm not being silly, but I have taught thousands of people how to do this, and you would not believe how much copper foil ended up in the garbage because people would push it off. It's frustrating. That piece is gorgeous. So this piece is going over like this because it's iridescent. We're gonna get this on up there. Our soldering iron's getting hot. Let me get all these little guys out of the way. All these little guys here. Let's get our gloves on. Glove up. Now we're going to get into the dangerous stuff again, the flux. You got to have it, and it is a it says easier on the skin. Never let it get on your skin. Your skin is your biggest organ. Don't let your skin absorb this. This is really bad for you. Wear gloves. Wear gloves. Okay, so flexing. I'm going to push this together tight. And I normally would do a piece like this, where this was down, like down, where's one of my sticks? Right down here at the bottom. I guess I can, yeah. I'll move my phone a little bit. So that side holds it nice, firm, and straight. Nice, firm, and straight down here. I'm gonna take my glove off, tilt that down. Oh, that, you can see that, perfect. And you see the importance of this now. Helps keep things straight for you too. I have a little paintbrush that I'm gonna use to put our flux on. And I'm gonna flux just where I kind of want to tack fuse this to get it to stay together. So I don't want my pieces moving. You okay? You all right?
Yeah,
Thanks, honey. Okay. Now we're gonna see if this is hot by going like this. Yes, it's hot. See the steam come off? So your tip should always be nice and clean. And you never let this just sit and bubble, bubble, bubble. So we're gonna drop from the top onto here. And that holds it in place for us. Turn this up just a bit. come back in and put more flux on. More flux, the better. Can't get enough of the flux. Now, once I get these guys tacked together, I'm going to move this back up here so you can see it good. And then I like to just kind of be methodical. And I think a lot of people, when you're starting out, what happens is you put on too much solder. I've seen it a lot in my workshops. One little bit, run it. One little bit, run it. See that little part there where it gapped? We're just going to put an extra little blob there. And that was the tape. The tape had to tear there. Little blob. Little blob. Flux. Whenever people in a workshop would say to me that the soldering is not sticking, it was always because there wasn't enough flux. And you can, like, there's so many different ways to solder. So many different ways. You can do this if you want to. I like to make a nice, straight, smooth line. But I do like to just touch it, run it. Touch it, run it. Touch it, run it. This part's thicker in here. See that? This little part in here, there's a little gap. We'll fill it with this. Sorry. Sorry again, bumping you. We'll fill that gap. Now, because I solder a lot, these things come in 1 pound rolls. So I always take off a little bit. I have bad arthritis, and holding this in your wrist, with your wrist all day, it's going to be tough for you. So I'm going to just cut this part off right here. Boop. So now we have this nice little light piece. We'll come down here and we'll put some more flux on here. Keep bumping my phone. And there's more solder in there than normal, just because because I had a little gap there. Like, I got a little gap over here too. I didn't put flux in there. I was like, why are you not staying? There is no flux. And you can do these on angles. You can do, in Scotland, I made a this sounds funny. I made a stained glass mirrored fountain. It was about 8 feet tall. And there was a lot of, I kind of did it around a metal sculpture that I had made. And I always have felt like you could build a house out of stained glass. Of course you can. Like a greenhouse kind of thing. So this, because that's a nice hunky width there. This is called rounded soldering, where you let a little rounded hump up here. Never, ever, ever, ever let this soldering iron sit on your glass. You will thermal shock it. Your heart will break because it will make a most terrible noise. Your glass will crack. If you do stained glass, if you do enough of stained glass, that will happen to you. And don't ever cry over broken glass. It's supposed to be broken, it's stained glass. You can join it back together. Bring your peace to you. Let your peace know. You want to be comfortable when you work. I've seen people become contortionist over their board while they're doing this here in their workshops. And I'll just go and I turn their board a quarter of a turn for them. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's so much better. Work comfortably. So we have our little stained glass pumpkin. It has to get curlicues. You got to do the back side. And I think I'm going to give him a little pumpkin friend sitting beside him. I don't think I want him to be alone on Halloween. I think he needs a little pumpkin friend. Don't we all? We all need a little pumpkin set. This is going to be in Halloween box. This is going to be in our Halloween box. To get a Halloween box, make sure you go to our website. Second link from the bottom. Get on our email list. Our boxes always sell out, always. And they sell out fast. And I send to everybody on our email list first. So get on our email list and I will give you first shot at getting a box. I only do so many. I never, ever, ever want to do production work. I never, ever want to feel like, I'm working when I do this. This is pure joy. Pure joy. The day it stops being pure joy is the day I stop making things. I don't think that day will ever come though. So this back part now, I typically, because this is a little piece going for the window, it's as pretty on the back as it is on the front. Get plenty of flux on there. And I do the front, I do the back, and then I flip it over and do the sides. The sides are so important. They give a lot of strength to your piece. You want your piece to be strong. I'll show you. The sides are so easy, and again, it's something I think we overcomplicate it. And I live in a big old church. It's super well ventilated here. Don't do this in a little room without a smoke heater. This is lead fumes that you'll be breathing. Don't do this in a little room without a fan. Stay safe. I learned how to do this at a college in Scotland, and my first class, actually I have my city and guilds in teaching stained glass in Scotland, and my first class, they start telling us about all the dangers. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm terrified. But take the precautions, do it right. And thanks for following, Tracy. Just, the crackling noises are great. My stained glass girls that are coming over today, back in 2019, we all went to Scotland together, and we made over 100 stained glass poppies that we took over to Scotland. Well, they ended up in England, and they were sold for the poppy relief, and it's something they do over there for their veterans, is the poppy appeal. So I'm just gonna pull this. That takes all of my lumpy bumpies out. This little guy, we forgot this little guy. Almost done. I took over this beautiful old vintage suitcase with over 100 poppies in them. And security, because in security, this just all shows up like all these, like the glass becomes invisible. So it just looked like all this wire. And I told security what it was about, and that, we were donating them to be sold for the poppy appeal. And the security people going into Edinburgh, oh my gosh, they were so lovely. They were so happy about that. So this is the sides. Let me first run around on the sides with your flux. You can do this laying down. I prefer to hold it up. But when you hold glass up, right now my heat is going down into that wood. The second you hold it up, the heat just goes right into the glass. Your glass becomes very hot. Your glass can crack. So the way around it actually is just to let it lay down and run so quick right around the edge. So quick. You don't want to see any copper. If you hold it up, you will feel the heat. Martin's chopping up yellow watermelon and a local fresh cantaloupe. We're going to have a feast here. So then down here, I'm going to make that even. Just run it. See? You don't usually even have to add more at this point. Go right around the edge. I'm going to let that little blob in there. I like them. I like that little blob. I think I did it on all there. So clean your tip, put solder back on your tip. So it's not just sitting there like a stove, a pan on the stove. Put that in there, let that sit. So now here, we need a way to hang this guy. And looky, don't ever touch that. Don't touch it with don't go onto the glass. Push it with your finger. Get it off of there quick. If you let your solder, this is back to our front, sorry. I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah, if you let your glass on, your soldering iron on your glass will crack. I just like to pull a nice straight line. a little rounded, not a lot rounded. That's perfect. Okay, we can stay there now. I'm going to get wire because I want to make some curlicues here. So this is copper wire. I'm gonna take it, and I'll show you how I work with copper wire. Everybody does it different, but this is what I like to do. Because I don't want anybody to ever get stuck with anything, before I start doing anything, I like to turn these little tips down. Because now you won't have a sharp thing to stick you. Just turn each little end down. And you, 100%, you do it whatever way you want to do it. Okay. So now that I have that done, I like to massage my wire just for a minute to get it straight, get kinks out of it. And then I'm going to take my little dowel rod that is my little, burnisher, loop. You can push it together and give it a really good twist. And then when you take it apart, you're going to have your cool little pumpkin curlicues. So I don't want to put a hanging hook on here. I'm going to put enough of these on here that there's plenty of places and ways for people to hang this. But I'm going to let some of this clear and just do a couple little twists with my fingers so it kind of looks organic. I don't want it to look like it's a coil that just came off of something. And again, maybe that's your look, maybe you like that. You do you. It's the beautiful part. That's the beautiful part. Okay, now I love that little guy. I love that little guy right there. Yep. I'm just going to start putting them down. Putting down some little curlicues. So my curlicues are always for a reason. They're going to make it beautiful, but they're going to make it strong. Let's start with these two. Can you see? Start with these two. Get a little piece of solder. Touch. Touch. Now, that wire is going to get hot. So don't sit there holding that wire and then say, Priscilla made me get burnt. Don't do that. These curlicues are going to make it so strong. One there. This is going to be hanging up in somebody's window. We don't ever, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how, I repair a lot of stained glass. Well, I don't really do it anymore because I'm not keen about doing it. It's a pain in the neck. This is going to hold these pieces will never come apart. Unless somebody falls on this. I've repaired a window that somebody put their elbow through. That was beautiful Egyptian design on the window. Oh, he's a good one. You can also do decorative soldering too. That's for another time. These pieces, it just makes them. Just makes them. This guy I'm going to go like this with. Yep, and then bring that back down here. Strength and beauty. We're looking for strength and beauty here. Not much to ask. That's what we're after. What do we want? Strength and beauty. When do we want it? Halloween. Oh, that grabbed it great. And you could, like, if I wanted to put little decorative dots over here, I can do that. Just these little, they're not really dots, just like little, I don't even know what you want to call them. But anywhere my coil's going down, I want to put that. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. Who just sent gifts? Liz just sent confetti. Thank you, Liz. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to turn it over here. Because this little dingle, I just thought of something I need to do. This is going to be a little, it's going to be a little heirloom. My last little leaf, I'm going to put a little dangly leaf right here. And the little dangly leaf that I put right here is going to be a little piece of Scottish sea glass. That'll make this super duper special. I like to do super duper special stuff that you can't get anywhere else. I know our sea glass is definitely every little piece of that is one of a kind. It's like you get to go to Scotland. Who doesn't want to go to Scotland? Everybody does. So I'm going to dangle this guy up a little bit higher because I know he's not going to be done till he has a little piece of Scottish sea glass there. I have some really deep olive green stuff that looks super cool. Be a little dangling leaf of sea glass. I need to get that little hoop down. And this stuff is hot when you do it, like I said. So use something to be like a holder instead of your finger. I don't want you to get burnt. So this one won't be, I got to go get the sea glass. The flux, we're all done with the flux. And I know already that I want to just go around real quick. Any sort of rough bit on here. And I want to find it with my glove if there is one. That's a little rough. That was medium rough. I don't want any rough bits around. These little guys here. Just going to touch them. Let him on there like a little dingle dangle. The other thing that I could do here, and I think I will do it on this. What time is it? We got plenty of time. I think I will on here. I think I'm going to put a little copper. I'll keep my gloves on because I'm going to solder still. I think I'm going to put a little copper leaf feel here. I'm going to hold it down to just make sure I want to do it. But I think details and little cool bits is what really makes your project special. So here, if I start here and come down here, I could just put the one on there. Think of the one. Maybe just the one. I'm going to just do the one. So this one, there won't be any part of this one sticking out. But I still want to do this. I'm going to have each end covered in solder, but I still want to do this. Get my tips down. People are going to be cleaning these. They're going to be touching them. And yes, they hang them up and put them up there, but I don't want anybody getting bit by my glass. So I'm going to take this, and I want to kind of have it straight but not straight. Straight but not straight. And I could, if I was going with a little bit side to side, I would take a piece like this, give it one twist in the middle and put it on the side. But I don't want that one getting too busy. I think just this piece is going to be perfect. It'll give us a cool shadow. Come right up here to the end of it. Flux. And you can pre-do this too. Like I can take this off of here and I can put my solder on here. So you know it's going to stay there. Gotta twist it so it's flat. That's it. Get your one end on. Perfect. I'm gonna put a little dab extra on here. That's just a little overkill. That's where you want it though. If you want to overkill, that's where you do it. And we're going to make this part come right down here. Get them just so. Fluxy, flux. Again, think about strength. You want it nice and strong. Nice and strong. And I'm going to hold it up without you seeing it to see. Yes. Oh, that little wire is good. The one little leaf wire was perfect. If I would have done all the leaf wires, would have looked weird. And we're going to put, as long as it looks good there, we're going to put a little piece of Scottish stained glass there. Okay, so now we gotta forget about that flux. Forget the flux. Put the flux away. If you let it sit out here, it will evaporate and disappear. I don't like to be wasteful. Flux away. Never, ever, 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 ever use any of these tools for anything else. Are we there? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yay. I just had to take that call. It was my daughter calling back. Oh my gosh. I gotta turn you around. And tell you, I had to take my glasses off. I told you I have the best daughter. Oh my gosh. She just called to say she's taking Morton and I to the Bahamas. Oh my gosh. She's awesome. I love her. Not just because of that. She said to me, so you're ignoring my calls? You're 40 minutes over, you're live? And I'm like, no, I'm still on the live. I gotta go. I'll call you right back. Is everything okay? And she goes, yeah, hold on 1 minute. Do you want to go to the Bahamas? Oh my goodness. That girl. She's amazing. Okay. Sorry about that. And now back to our regular scheduled program. I'm gonna unplug my soldering iron. Always make sure you unplug it. Always. I like to put the cord where I can see it, so I'm sure. And I want to hold this up for you at the very end. Make sure you're following. Oh, Mo just followed. Thank you, Mo. Make sure you're following if you're not. This is the magic part now. This part's going to be so fast. So this is patina. What it does is stained glass naturally patinas, but we're gonna make the stained glass patina real fast. We're just gonna brush it like this, and all that silver is now gonna get spooky black for us. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Morton's never been to the Bahamas. He has to be so excited. She's amazing. She said, I didn't. Oh, she's so good. So good, that girl. And look, when you put this on, the color, I love it. I think it goes from looking maybe not Halloweeny to looking super Halloweeny. Fall. So the other thing that this does that's super awesome, that's wonderful, is it hides all your flaws. So this is the concealer of the stained glass world. Oops, I got a little nub there. How'd that little nub happen? Had a little nub there. I had a dream as well. I can't tell this to Martin. I had a dream that Martin came with me to France for the month of February. I'm hoping he would. Martin would love it. He really would. Even if he just sat around and read or went for a walk. He feels like he would be in the way because he's not an artist, but that's not true at all. Maybe it'll happen. Dreams can come true. They can happen to you. Okay, we got all of this on. Make sure every little bit's on here. We want that silver gone. You can get patina that's silver and copper too. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little cloth here. I don't like to use paper towels. I was a single mom for a long, long time. Artist and crafter. And paper towels they're like aluminum foil for me. They were a luxury I've never had. But the first thing I'm going to do here is clean out this. Let's get my brush cleaned out. Get all my scrubby marks off. Vinegar and water. 50/50, Morton says, is what I use. I believe him. I'm going to wipe this off so now there's no flux on it. There's no patina on it. Brush it out, make sure it's clean. Yes, it is. And now we're gonna scrub a dub. And normally I would do this part at the sink, but I'm just gonna do it right here. It won't be all the way polished. It'll be pretty polished. And then we'll hold it up and look together and see what we've made this lovely Sunday morning. I will give it a scrub though. I do like to scrub them up. See, the stem can be wobbly, not the way we do it. The stem will not be the weakest link. No piece of this is the weakest link. I could turn this into a fountain. No problem. Do the front, do the back. That green is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. The stem, oh, you better be ready to go ooh and ah when I hold this up to the window. I want to see some oohing and ahhing. And remember, it's not all the way done. I scrub it. I have an old toothbrush that I love. I like to use the old toothbrush to scrub my stained glass. Get all of it, all the little nooks and crannies clean. Okay, so I'm happy with this. I'm going to lay this down. It's not as shiny and as gorgeous as it will be when it's all done. But the TikTok I make about this, I will show you that. Now, I'm going to just do that with my gloves because don't set it anywhere near your soldering iron. I gotta do this really quick. I just gotta spray that off my fingers. It really does bother me if I just let it on my fingers. Okay. Remember, it's not polished. Not polished. Oops. Okay, you ready? Are you ready for this? And I don't have my string to hold it up. We'll look at it first in the church. Oh, lovely pumpkin. Look at it in front of there. Oh my gosh. Can you see through the light? I think what I'm gonna do with this piece, because that's the middle part's super translucent. I think what I'm gonna do, and I have one right here, miraculously already cut. I think I'm gonna take a piece like this and put one more piece on here to make this center. Maybe. I gotta look at it. I kind of do like that just as it is. And I'm gonna put some sea glass on there. I can't hold it far enough away to see if I love it yet. The light is really hard to see if it's orangey enough. Yeah, I think with the maybe I'll dangle a couple little sea glass pieces on there. Maybe a couple in the middle. I can dangle more than one piece of sea glass. And it needs a good scrub. When I'm looking at it right now, I'm just seeing that it's not scrubbed. Turn your stuff off. Thank everybody for watching. Thanks for watching, and I hope, oops. Where are we here? Flip it. I hope you learned something. Wear an apron. Be safe when you're doing this. Uh, follow your dreams. Start doing what you want to do now. And the time, it's always later than we think. But the good news is, like, it's always later than you think. It's not a bad thing. I couldn't get my 20-year-old apron that has seen it all. The good news about that is as long as we're breathing, we're still here. There's always time to figure out your dream, do what you need to do to get your dream, and then do it. Just do it. If you want to learn how to do stained glass, just do it. And now, like back in the olden days, I had to go to college to learn. I took a college course that I didn't realize was going to actually give me my city and guilds in Scotland. And do what you want to do. Start doing it. Make your own joy. Create your own happy. And I'm not gonna be back on live for a while. Everybody's coming in 1 hour, and if I know these people, there will still be people here tonight at 9. And I do know these people. They're lovely. I'll take some little TikToks throughout the day. Maybe they'll be cool about it, but maybe not. I would never want to make anybody feel uncomfy. So this replay will be forever on our YouTube channel. Everybody, thank you for being here. Thanks for all the gifts. Thanks to all the new followers. Welcome, welcome if you're just here for the first time. And thank you. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Penny. Thanks, Irish. Thanks, Twiggy. And thanks, everybody. Oh my gosh. Elise just purchased a subscription. Thank you, Elise. Thank you, everybody. Love you, Angelia. I hope you're feeling better. Everybody have a great day. And I will take TikToks of the feast, because when I say there's going to be a feast here today, you have no idea. Oh my goodness, these ladies. You think Morton can cook? You should meet my friends. And maybe they'll want to make a little TikTok with me. That would be fun. All right, love you. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye. Bye.